Uh, One second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
It is not okay. Now, let me talk about the relevance of this topic to the research scholars. Whenever we do a research, there are two things that is required. One is we should be able to have the knowledge ourselves, or we should know where the knowledge is available. This referencing, the topic referencing which I am going to speak today, deals with this second aspect. That is, it gives us an idea of where exactly the knowledge is stored, where the knowledge is, from where the knowledge is disseminated, and things like that. So with this at the background, let me start talking about the referencing, or sometimes called citations in research articles. I would draw upon your attention to this particular tree, which depict the growth of research. Any research, for that matter, is not independent, altogether independent. They cannot, any research that you and I do cannot exist in isolation. There will be some connection with the past literature. So, as a researcher, it is our responsibility to link the present research to the research that has already been done. This linking of the present research to the past one is what referencing is all about. Reference is a link between the present literature, present research, with the past research, the current research, and the past research. So we have to be very careful about the referencing that we are doing in our research. In fact, referencing is used in journals, in patents, in theses, in all scholarly publication. In fact, some people call it citing and some people call it referencing. So for the sake of clarity and ease of discussion in this session, I will make a subtle difference between the citation or citing and the referencing. So citing, we can call it as in-text reference, and referencing, we can call it as in-text reference. So what do I mean by in-text reference? Whenever you refer to another author's work in your article, you are going to say that this author has said like this, he has opined like this, he has found out this, etc. in your article, in the inside the text. That is what in-text referencing is. We are going to see the examples little later. And referencing is the list of references that you give at the end of the article, at the end of the thesis chapter, or at the end of the thesis. And today we will be talking about many things in which these are some of the vocabulary that you may come across. For example, we will be talking about APA, we will be talking about MLA, we will be talking about Chicago style, we will also be talking about IBID, offset, endnote, footnote, Zotero, etc., etc. Just to make it this particular session bit more interactive. Normally it is very difficult to make the online session interactive. What we will do is we will make use of the chat box to elicit the answers from the audience. So I just wanted to type one or two keywords that has been listed here, which you do not know as of now. So please reply your answer using the chat box. I will be looking into the chat box. I will give you 2 minutes time. ಈ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಪದಗಳು ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, Chicago style. One has written as Chicago style. So if you know all of them, you just say, I know all. I'm expecting answer from you people. Okay, plugin, offset. Just one more minute. Okay, fine. We will continue. That means there are some words which we do not know yet. So we will be understanding these words, these terminologies, and how to use them in the context of referencing. Okay, now if you look at referencing, as I already told, it is an integral part of academic writing. If you write an article, there should be a list of references at the end. If you write a thesis, the references are must. If you are filing a patent, references are must. If you are writing a conference article, references are must. Any academic writing involves referencing. Unfortunately, the referencing is neglected area of research. I have seen many of my students worrying about referencing at the end of their research work when they want to submit. So 1 or 2 days will be there for the last date. Then they will start compiling the bibliography and collecting the references and start correcting the bibliographical details and so on and so forth. And that is because many of our research scholars believe that referencing is not that important, and referencing could be done at the end of the research, but it is not so. Referencing, the act of referencing and collection of references has to be done all along your research process. And the importance for referencing has risen because of the concerns about plagiarism. one thing that I want to tell you is, if you know the art of referencing properly, you can bring down the plagiarism level to a minimal level. Okay, that is, so there is a direct relationship between proper referencing and plagiarism. And we know that many students come to the library at the end of their research, and they will be astonished to see that the plagiarism level would be some 40%, 45%, 50%, etc. And all this could have been reduced below 10% had they given the references properly. So because there is a lack of skills of referencing, the plagiarism level is found to be very high. So the library staff helps them to reduce the plagiarism level by teaching them the referencing skills. So that need not be learned at the end, it can be learned right now. With this context, so I'm speaking about the referencing. And referencing means you are going to cite a few past works in your research area. Now the basic question is, why do you have to cite the past work? Can I write an article without even consulting any past work, without giving any reference? And hypothetically, the answer could be yes, but no research is done like that. Any journal article, one of the important component of an article is references. Okay, so these references, why people give reference to the past literature? Maybe they want to support their arguments. We say that the earlier work has also come out with this kind of finding. So my research also comes out with this finding. So I am arguing, taking the help of the past literature. So for the sake of argument, also in your research article, you have to cite the past work. And as I already told, you need to cite the past work to avoid plagiarism. And also you have to demonstrate that you have the good knowledge of the subject domain in which you are doing the research. How do you establish that? That could be established by providing proper references at the end of the article or thesis or chapter, whatever it is. So, and many times it so happens that you cannot write everything in your article or thesis. So some of the things would be there in some other work. So if the reader wants to know more about the concept that you are referring to, you may give the reference. For more information, you can see this particular article or work, whatever it is. So you are directing the researcher to other works for more better comprehensive information. So for that also you have to give the citation. And Neville has listed a few reasons for citation. They are to help to trace the origin of ideas. References could be used for that, and to build a web of ideas, to validate arguments, to spread the knowledge, acknowledge the work of others, and to have own voice. These are some of the reasons why we cite. So the question now is, when we have to give the reference? That is the important questions many students ask. So you have to give the reference whenever you directly quote someone else's work. So if you are quoting someone else's work, so say for example, the Abdul Kalam has said like this. So you are quoting him. In such cases, you have to put his words, his sentences in quotation and give the citation. And when you are not quoting him verbatim, but you are taking the idea and you are representing it in your own language, in such cases also, morally and ethically, you are expected to cite. So even if you paraphrase, someone else's work, then you need to give the reference. And if you use the ideas from someone else's work, ideas in the form of tables, ideas in the form of flowcharts or figures, charts, if you borrow it, even if it is available on internet, then on Google, then you have to give the reference. And when you use data, figures, or information from someone else's work, you have to give the reference. And you have to necessarily give the reference if you borrow the diagrams, images, tables, charts, etc. Now, we know that we have to give the reference. But in the act of references, giving the reference, many researchers do commit lot of mistakes. I have conducted a study to find out the kind of errors a research scholar would make in a thesis. And I took a few theses in the field of psychology and evaluated it from the angle of accuracy of the references. And here are my results. And you may be astonished to see that a completed thesis has so many referencing errors. And this is not mine. I will be showing about my results a little later. And these are the errors that were found in medical journals, medical professional journals. And Evans has discovered that 48% of errors are there in medical journals such as American Journal of Surgery, Gynecology, etc., etc. And an overall 44 to 56% of error rate was found in the citations in different anesthesia journal. A study reveals that 44 to 56% of errors. The study was conducted between 1992 to 95. And the Indian Journal of Surgery, you can see the international journals had an error rate around 50%, but Indian journals have error rate of 84%, more than 80%. This is astonishing. So yeah, journals are considered to be the scholarly publications having less and less error rate, but our Indian Journal of Surgery has 84%, and this was the study conducted in 2003. And I don't think it would have improved much. If you repeat the study, probably you may get around 70 to 75% even now. This is because of the lack of information skills in referencing, which we will be learning today. And let me go further. There are various kinds of errors that you can see. In many studies, it has been found out that the first author itself is wrong. They cite the journal wrongly. They cite the second author incorrectly, and also the wrong abbreviations, wrong years, so on and so forth. These kinds of errors were found in the earlier studies. So what is the conclusion? Reference inaccuracy is common in general surgery literature, is the finding of that particular article, but we can say it exists in all domains, and the impact factor has no clear association with the error rate. That means we think that high quality journals will have less error rate as far as referencing is concerned, but studies have shown it need not be like that. And potential methods for improving the reference accuracy is warranted, is required. That is the finding of one of the studies, but I think it is applicable in all domains. And I was referring to the studies which I conducted, taking the thesis, five theses in the field of psychology. I think I conducted this study sometime in 2012 or so. The theses which I have conducted, which I took for error analysis, were from 2006, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you can see the kind of errors. 54% of thesis references were wrong. 54% in a thesis, and the major errors were found in issue number, author name, pagination, etc., etc. And the analysis shows that there were around 1,297 errors found in the thesis, referencing errors, I am telling. And this is the reason why we need to understand what is referencing, how to give error-free references, and how to use the software tools for collecting and generating the bibliography or reference list. This is what we are going to end up with. So let us try to understand about the citation categories. In fact, citation styles can be divided into three groups. One is name and date systems, consecutive numbering systems, and recurrent numbering system. In the name and date, when I'm talking about citation style, I'm talking here about mostly about the in-text citation. In-text citation means the citation that we give inside the article, and at the end of the article we give the list of references. It is called in-text references. In-text means inside the article, in-text means at the end of the article or chapter or thesis, whatever it is. So there are three types: name and date, consecutive, and recurring numbers. We will look into it in detail. And there are, in fact, in order to identify the referencing styles, there are many referencing styles available. For example, APA is popular among social sciences, and Chicago is there, Vancouver is there, IEEE is there, and also there are many. Harvard referencing style is there. All these styles are there, which are the guidelines for giving the proper referencing. And these are called referencing styles. I have with me one book which is a manual for American Psychological Association APA referencing style, and this is the 7th edition of APA, which is the latest one. So I expect each one of you to have this particular book during your research process, so that whenever you have any doubt regarding the referencing, you can consult it. Apart from that, this particular book helps you to give guidelines regarding the how the chapter heading should be, how the table heading should be, what font you have to use, how much of space you have to leave in between. So it's a wonderful book for all the researcher, APA. And the referencing styles are normally okay. The referencing styles are normally associated with the subject fields, and normally author name system or author date system are used in social sciences, business and management studies, humanities, and so on and so forth. And running note style is used in law, humanities, architecture, and numeric style is used in medicine, applied science, engineering, and so on and so forth. So now let us try to understand. I understand that most of you are from social science background. So normally APA, the book that I have showed, is used in many of the social science disciplines. So uh, uh, what I mean by end note and in text, end text and in text references, I'm going to explain here. You are seeing here the underlined one, wherein the author wants to say that this particular idea is taken from United Nations 2009 publication. So author is given and date is given. So that is why this particular way of giving the in text is recommended by APA. And similarly here also, you can see over here. And these are the end text references. You can see here that the references are listed alphabetically. Please note that when the references are listed alphabetically, there is no need to give the serial numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. need not be given and should not be given, because in an author date system, the sequencing is through alphabetical order of the authors, so there is no need for any serial numbers. And there are different ways of giving the references, in-text references. You can see here the author, two authors are given, author A and author B, followed by the year. This is one way of giving it in the brackets after the completion of the sentence. And in some cases, you can see here in the last one, you can see here the author name is not enclosed in the bracket, only the year is enclosed in the bracket. It is because the author name is the part of the sentence. If the author names becomes the part of the sentence, then only year you have to enclose it in brackets. Otherwise, both author and years have to be given in the brackets. So that's how it has to be given. And as I already told you, the references are arranged in alphabetical order. And you can also see here that there are two references by the same author. United Nations has published two publications in the year, same year, 2008. So in such cases, you have to give 2008. If the author is same, year is same, then you have to make use of the suffix A, B, C, etc. For the first one, nothing is written, 2008 is there, and for the second one, 2008 A should be given. If you are citing another publication which is also published in 2008, then you would have given United Nations 2008 B. something like that. ABC should be used when author and year are same for the different works. And this is another example for what is called consecutive numbering system. What we talked so far was author date system, wherein author name and year of publication is given in the in text. But whereas in the consecutive numbering system, the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is given. So here author's name will not be given. Author's name, author and publication date will not be given. So instead we are going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And the references have to be arranged according to the number that you have given. One here means this particular work, the first one, the second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Somebody wrote that they are not familiar with the word offset. So if you are using the consecutive numbering system, then you will be using the words like IBID and offset. There is a slight difference between IBID and offset. Here, IBID means it is exactly similar to the immediately previous one. That means this particular reference, you see here, this idea and this idea are taken from this one and the same work. So IBID means Zia Lee and Nancy B. Crane, etc., etc., and page number 3. So from the same work, immediately previous work, the idea has been taken. That is the meaning. Offset means it is already cited somewhere. It is not immediately previous one. It is all. You can see here Zia is number 2 here. So you don't have to repeat everything again here. Instead, you have to give only the first surname of the first author, and you have to give offset and page number 4, and so on and so forth. So this will be used. IBID and offset will be used only in the case of consecutive numbering system. So now we have understood the 2 different styles. One is author date system. The second one is consecutive numbering system. And there is one more, which is called recurrent numbering system. So wherein you repeat the number. Say for example, you can see here 1 is repeated again here. That means that this idea, the first one and the last one, are taken from this one and the same, but instead of increasing the numbers like 1, 2, 3, etc., it can be repeated. So in such case, so you can see 1 is repeated twice and 2 is repeated twice in this particular paragraph. So in such cases, you don't have to use the offset or IBID technique. So if you just list 1, 2, 3, etc., then it is sufficient. So what we have basically understood is, if you are using a author date system, the references are arranged in alphabetical order. That is point number 1. Point number 1, if you are using the numbering systems, then you will be sequencing the references in the order of the number in which they have been cited inside the text. And there are 2 types of numbering systems. One is consecutive numbering system. Another one is recurrent numbering system. If it is a consecutive numbering system, the reference list may have the word IBID and offset. If it is a concurrent recurrent numbering system, there is no need for using that particular technique. And this is one example of name date system, Harvard name date system. You can see here, you consider that this is a paragraph or a text. This is how a book, Carol 2009, and a book chapter, journal article, conference paper look in the Harvard name date system. Yeah, I mean the top paragraph shows the in-text style of referencing, and below is the reference list. References, they are called references, and they are not numbered because we are using name date system, wherein we are going to alphabetize the references. There is no need for giving the serial numbers. And in the numbered style system, you can see here this is how the book chapter, journal article, etc., in the journal nature is given. And here the order of the references is same as the order in which they have been cited. 1 means this, 2 means this, 3 means this, etc. This is how, and you can very well see here that it is a numbered style of referencing. Now, let us do a kind of an exercise online. Let me try to do it online. Let me open up one file. 1 second. This one is it. Okay. You can use the chat box to give the answer. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. You can give you can give your answer using the chat box. Supposing you are quoting directly from a published source, do you need to give the reference or not? You can say yes or no. I'm looking into the chat box. Okay, one person has answered. You have to say either yes or no. Yes.
So reference is needed, sir.
Yes, it is needed. Okay, fine. So a few people have already answered. So all of them have said yes, because you are directly quoting from the source. And the second question, let me go to the second question. When using statistics or other data that is freely available from a publicly accessible website, do you want to give the reference or not? It is accessible on the website publicly. Say yes or no again for the second question. Yes, even if it is available publicly, somebody has said no. The answer is actually yes. Even if it is publicly available on the website, you need to give the reference. The concept of referencing is to acknowledge that you are borrowing the idea from somewhere else. It is just an acknowledgement. So whether because we have borrowed the idea from some other place, whether it is freely available or from a priced source, that doesn't matter. If you are borrowing the idea from somewhere else, you need to acknowledge. So referencing is required even in this case. So we will go for the third one. When summarizing the cause of undisputed past events and where there is agreement by most commentators on the cause and effect. do you want to give reference for this in such cases? Any answer from your side? Somebody has said no. Oh yes, you are right. So there is no need. There is no need. And paraphrasing a definition, sorry. Paraphrasing a definition. Paraphrasing a definition. Yes, you need to give. That's correct. And next. When summarizing or paraphrasing the ideas of a key commentator or author, but taken from a secondary source, even if you take it from secondary source, you need to give the reference. Let me go fast. So when you are summarizing the concluding paragraph of your assignment, in a conclusion, normally you don't have to give unless you are taking that for the first time. Okay. And when including in your assignment photographs, graphics, etc., you have to give the reference. So when emphasizing an idea you have read that you feel makes an important contribution, yes, you have to give. And when you summarizing the undisputed and commonplace fact, etc., you don't have to. And when you are using aphorisms such as penny wise, pound foolish, normally need not be given, but if you know the origin, it is better to give the reference to make the reading little more interesting. That's it. Otherwise, there is no need for proverbs and other things to that you have to give the reference. Okay. Now, many of us are very familiar with the sequence in which the components of the references have to be placed. So let us do one quick activity based on that. So let me take say for example, this is the paragraph. This is the paragraph. This is the text that you are writing. Where should you go? Where should you give the in-text reference? After the first sentence or at the end, or where? Somebody can tell orally so that it will be fast. We are deciding about where the in-text citation should go. In fact, because there's no time, I myself will tell, maybe somewhere here you can give at the end you can give, and for this also you can give. I mean, here you can give at two places, at the end of the first sentence and also at the end. Two references will come, and here at the end you can give, and so on and so forth. Now we will learn something about APA, American Psychological Association, and the 7th edition is in my hand. Okay. APA uses name, date, or author date system. And to insert the citation in the text, include author's surname and year of publication. In fact, how many authors you have to include? APA 7 allows up to 5 authors. Up to 5 authors you can include. If there are more than 5 authors, you can use the word and others. And others. A and others. So that's how it has to be given. And you have to give the parenthesis. The in-text references are given under the parenthesis. And as we have already seen, the reference list is arranged alphabetically, and you have to use hanging indent paragraph style. Hanging indent means the second line should be moved towards the right a bit, maybe four character or 5 characters. So this is what hanging indent you have to give, and the reference list should be in double space, and the references should include, please note, in this order: author. Now we will do one exercise in APA style. I have given the components of a reference, M1, N1, O1, and P1 of a book. So arrange this. How do you arrange this at the in the end text? Whether O1 will come first or P1 will come first, etc. So arrange this and use the chart box to answer. What should be the sequence in the APA? In APA, O1, that is the author name, will come first, followed by the year M1, O1, M1 will come next, and thirdly, the title of the book and the publication details. So O1, M1, N1, and P1. That is the sequence in which it has to be given. And journal article. Here you can say M2 should come first, then O2. O2 is the year, and N2 is the name of the journal, and volume and year number, and Q2 the pagination, 299 to 300 pages. Okay, this is how it will be done. We will stop here and continue further. Okay. Now, normally, what are the difficulties faced by a research scholar? In fact, there are too many referencing styles and tutor inconsistencies, because the people who teaches us about referencing style may tell differently, and difficult to remember the sequence, because what happens is, if you want to send a particular article to a particular journal, it insists on a specific referencing style, and for a different journal you may have to change the referencing style altogether. So there are too many referencing style, and also how to remember the sequence, etc., is very difficult and very boring and very mundane and labor intensive. That is the reason why many people don't like the compilation of bibliography or reference list. They outsource it to somebody. But it is not that difficult. That and as survey has been done, and it has shown that 75% of the students have a negative perception about the referencing. And the solution for this is we can make use of what is called reference management system. So there are many tools available, free tools available, open access tools available, which we can use. And I am going to demonstrate within next 10 to 15 minutes one of the tools that you can use very effectively for in-text as well as end-text referencing. And you don't have to remember anything here. You can electronically capture the data, and then you can you can generate the references, in-text references as well as the end-text references. So there are many. There are some of them are open source, some of them are commercial, and many of them are web-based tools. So today we are going to learn about Zotero. I'm not promoting Zotero here. I'm taking Zotero as an example of reference management system, how we can use Zotero. And the similar technique will be there in EndNote, one of the popular reference management system. And also, or you want to use Mendeley, you can definitely use it. And Zotero and Mendeley are open source, freely available, whereas EndNote is a commercial software which has many features which may not be there sometime in Zotero. And how to install Zotero? It's a very straightforward one. So you have to install three things. In fact, one is Zotero desktop you have to install, and Zotero plugin, browser plugin you have to install, and also Zotero Word plugin you have to install. Three things have to be installed. One is Zotero's desktop, another one is Zotero Word plugin, and browser plugin. If these three things are there, then you can easily use Zotero. And the installation of these three plugins are straightforward, and it hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm not going to demonstrate that, but I'm going to show you how exactly we can use Zotero for our purpose. So just give me 1 minute time to set the Zotero and demonstrate how to use Zotero for capturing the references and creation of bibliography. Okay. Just minimize this PPT. Open one. Okay. What you are seeing is the Zotero desktop. So Zotero desktop visit here. So you are using Zotero workshop desktop, and here you can see that the Zotero desktop sits in your laptop or desktop. So this is a local database. So all these are cloud-based solutions, but it synchronizes with the local and the cloud storage. So what you are seeing, Zotero desktop, is the local storage. Now I am going to create one a new folder so that we can work for today's session. So I will say that HRDC. So whatever references that I am going to download today, I am going to put it under HRDC folder, new folder I have created. So whenever you want to use the Zotero, you have to first make it sure that the desktop is open. Desktop is open and you can minimize it, and you can, I mean, the Zotero browser plugin works with many of the browsers, including Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, etc., etc. And you can see here that whenever you see this, after you install the Zotero plugin, you will see a Zotero, what you call, icon, something like this, icon like this. Now, what we will do is, we will try to, it is saying it, Zotero is disabled. One second. Okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to capture a few references from Google Scholar. Scholar.google.com. Okay, I'm going to search for some keyword, maybe plagiarism. I'm doing research under on plagiarism. So and these are the works which are suitable for my work. Now, I may not be interested in all these work. I may be interested only in this particular article. So what I'm trying to do is, you can see the icon over on the right top side. It is showing like a folder. It is showing like a folder. Now I am interested in this particular article, so I want to give a reference to this article in my work. So I am going to click on this. Click on this, and this is the article which I am interested in. And you can see here that the Zotero has identified that it is a journal article. The icon has changed. So if you want to capture the details of this particular article into your local storage, you just click on that. Now you can see here this is my desktop. You can see that particular article's details has already been captured. You can make changes to this, etc. You can order it, so many things could be done. So that means the article details I have captured in Zotero. Let me capture a few more. So I will go back. And possibly I can I'm interested in this article also. I have opened that particular article and capturing the bibliographical details. And if this article is available in PDF format freely, even the PDF will be downloaded. If it is not available freely, then only the bibliographical details will be downloaded. So my desktop should now have two articles. You can see two articles are there. here. And like this, you can collect the references, not necessarily from Google Scholar, from Amazon you can collect it, or from Web of Science you can collect it, or from Scopus you can collect it. Virtually from any website you can collect it. And now the task before us is to integrate this with the article that I'm going to write. So how I'm going to handle that one? So I'm writing a new article. I will generate a text, something like so this is an article. I have randomly generated one text. This is the article which I am have written. So I want to give the reference. Supposing I want to give the reference here. So I'm at the end of second line, at the end of the second line, before full stop. So what I will do is I will place the cursor there, and I have already installed Zotero plugin, Word plugin. So go to Zotero and you add the citation. Add the citation. So one sec. What is this? Is outdated. And it is asking for which citation style I need to use. I am saying American Psychological Association 7th edition, and this has to be done only once for an article. So I have chosen that, and it is asking which what you call article I need to give the in text for. So I am taking the second one and clicking on that, which this one I have just downloaded, and I'm clicking on this, and you can see the in-text citation has appeared automatically. I have not typed anything. And similarly, what I will do, I'm going to give another reference somewhere at the end of the first chapter, first paragraph, and give this citation, classical view, and the first one I'm taking. Okay, two articles references I have fetched in, and now what I can do is I have to generate the bibliography or reference list. So what I will be doing, references, I'm typing, and I will say add bibliography. Add bibliography, and it has generated the bibliography without any error according to APA 7th edition. It is as simple as this. So if you make use of the reference management like this, then you can definitely avoid the referencing errors. Supposing you want to make use of the Harvard's name, Harvard is the name of the author's name as the part of the sentence. Say for example, Harvard opines that, click insert, etc., whatever. So here I am supposed to give only the year, because Harvard is a part of the sentence, though I don't have to repeat Harvard again. So in such cases, what I need to do is I have to keep the cursor there, go to the one of the, and here omit author is there because I'm omitting the author because I have given the author's name as a part of the sentence. So I'm just giving, clicking on that, and only in 1992 has come. And you can add to your database anytime. For example, now also I am searching for one more. I'm going somewhere here and I'm clicking on this and I have downloaded it, and now I want to insert that particular reference somewhere here. So what I will do, go to Zotero, add and edit citations, and classical view. This is a book, and the details has come out already. So like this, the bibliography and references could be compiled. And in case if you want to change from APA to Chicago style, then you have to just go to the document preferences and Chicago manual. Okay, and it gets changed to Chicago style. Already it has changed. It has already changed to Chicago style. So this is how it can be. And let me show you how to change it to a IEEE so that numbering system would appear. IEEE. You can see here 1, 2, 2, something like that. It has come and it has been sequenced here. 1, 2, 3 has come. So like this, you can generate the references. With this, I will conclude. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to take. Thank you very much. Any questions? Stop share. Okay, I have completed my presentation. If there are any questions, I will take. Otherwise, we will wind up. Am I audible? ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I have completed my presentation. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? HRDC Mysore